Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt nothing? Not pride, not even dislike. Just a hollow, empty space where a person is supposed to be. Have you ever felt like a ghost in your own life? Just going through the motions? A complete and utter fraud? I have. 4 years. That was my entire world. And this is the story of how I decided to go to war with that man in the mirror. It wasn't a single moment. Not really. It was more like 1,000 tiny surrenders that led to one big one. I was working a job spraying for cockroaches, a nightly gig that paid the bills but cost me my soul. I'd come home in the dead of night, the chemical smell clinging to my clothes, my skin, and I'd just collapse onto the sofa. I was enormous. We're talking nearly 22 stone. Every part of me felt soft, weak, and pathetic. I was exactly the failure everyone always told me I would be. On one of those nights, drowning in self-pity, I flicked on the telly. It was some nature channel, or something like it, and a program came on. It was about these elite commandos, these lads going through the selection for their special forces, and I couldn't look away. These blokes were getting their RCs handed to them. They were in the freezing surf, getting smashed by waves, covered head to toe in sand, shaking so violently you'd think they'd fall apart. They were running on broken feet, carrying logs their faces a mask of pure, unadulterated misery. Lads were quitting, ringing the bell to signal they were done, that they couldn't take anymore. They were suffering, properly suffering. And as I sat there on my sofa, a mountain of a man in a deadened life, something inside me just clicked. I saw their pain, and instead of turning away, he felt a pull. It was a strange kind of calling, because in their suffering, I saw a way out of my own. You see, my whole life had been about running away from pain. I grew up in a place where I was the pain magnet, small town, not many black faces about. In fact, the local headquarters for the clan was just a 20-minute drive away. One of the top dog's sons sat behind me in 2 of my classes. Every single day, he'd lean forward and whisper nigger in my ear, just a constant, low-level hum of hatred. When I finally saved up enough for my first car, I came out one morning to find nigga. "We're gonna kill you," spray painted across the side. I was a scared, insecure kid, a complete mess, and there was no one coming to save me. I remember taking a drawing someone had done of me, a caricature with a noose around my neck and the same words scrawled underneath, to the school principal. You know what he said to me? He looked at it, this piece of raw hatred, and said, "Well, they've spelled nigger wrong." That was it. That was the best he could offer. My mom, bless her, was working 3 jobs and going to college full-time just to keep our heads above water. My dad had taken her soul, and she was doing the best she could. But she wasn't around, it was who's me. Me and this crippling fear that lived in my gut every single day. I looked in the mirror every morning when I was 16, shaving my head, and I hated the reflection. I hated that weak, scared boy staring back at me. The best thing that ever happened to me was that no one helped. No one coddled me. No one stepped in, because it forced me to realize a fundamental truth. The only person who could fix this mess was me. And watching those men suffer on the television, I understood how. I had to stop running from pain. I had to run directly towards it. I had to build calluses on my mind, the same way you get them on your hands from hard graft. I had to put myself through the worst things imaginable, to volunteer for hell, so I could build a brain that could handle anything. My goal became crystal clear. I saw myself as the weakest person God ever created. I decided I wanted to become the hardest man who ever lived. Was that even possible? I didn't have a clue. But you need a goal, and mine was to wage a war on myself until a different man emerged from the ashes. That decision set me on a path that led me into the armed forces, into some of the most brutal training programs on the planet. But the real test, the one that forged the man I am today, came from a place I never expected. Years later, I was in a good place. Physically, at least, I was serving with some of the best men in the world. Then, a mission went sideways. A disaster. We lost a lot of good blokes, friends of mine, lads with wives, with kids. It was devastating. I felt this desperate need to do something, anything. I wanted to raise money for their families, for a foundation that would send their kids to university. I needed a challenge, something so ridiculously hard that people would have to take notice. So I did what anyone would do. I went home and I Googled the 10 hardest races in the world. I knew nothing about running. I hadn't put on a pair of running shoes in over a year. I was a powerlifter, a big unit, weighing somewhere between 17 and 19 stone. I was built for lifting heavy things, not for running. But this name popped up. A 135-mile race through Death Valley. In the middle of summer. Now, in my complete ignorance, I thought it was a stage race. You know, you run 20 miles, pitch a tent, have a bit of a barbecue, then get up and run another 20 the next day. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? I called the race director, a bloke named Chris. I told him my story, who I was, what I wanted to do. We had a long chat, and he was patient, but he eventually laid it out for me. He said, "Look, mate, to even qualify for my race, you have to run 100 miles in one go, in under 24 hours. I looked at my calendar. It was a Wednesday. He told me there happened to be a qualifying race that Saturday. 4 days? Hawaii. 4 days to prepare for a 100-mile run, having not run a single mile in over a year. He said, if you can do that, I'll consider letting you in. What could I say? I signed up. The race was a 1-mile loop of a track. You just run round and round for 24 hours, and they see how far you get. A clown show. My goal was 100 miles. I showed up with no clue. I had on a pair of thick tube socks. My fuel was a box of Ritz crackers and some old muscle-building shakes. I didn't even have a proper water bottle. It was a complete joke. And for a while, the joke was on them. I was smashing it. I cleared 70 miles in about 12 or 13 hours. I was flying. I thought, this is easy. And then, my body just quit. It wasn't a slow decline. It was like a switch was flipped. Everything that could go wrong did. My feet felt like someone had taken a sledgehammer to them. Stress fractures, sheen, splints. Muscles I didn't even know I had were tearing. I stumbled over to a fold-out chair on the side of the track and collapsed into it. I looked at my wife, who was there with me, and I just said, I'm in a bad way. And I was. My skin, my black skin, started to turn white. I was going into shock. I had 30 miles left to go, 30 miserable laps of this track. And I couldn't get out of the bloody chair. The Portaloo was 20 feet away, and it might as well have been on the moon. My body just gave up. I started peeing blood down my leg. I was losing control of my bowels. All my systems were shutting down. I'd been through 3 hell weeks. I'd overcome so much in my life, but in that moment, sitting in that chair, covered in my own filth, broken and defeated, I had never felt so utterly, completely finished. There was no way forward. This, right here, was the end of the line. Have you ever stopped to think about the most valuable skills you could possibly learn in your lifetime? I mean, the real game changers. Because I reckon the things that truly pay off forever aren't the ones you learn in a classroom or from a textbook. They're the tough ones. The skills that take a bit of grit to master. But once you've got them sorted, they'll serve you for the rest of your days. Let's start with something that makes most of us a bit weak at the knees. Speaking up. Whether you like it or not, getting comfortable with the sound of your own voice in a room full of people is an absolute superpower. Think about it. It's a tool that will be an asset for the next 50 or 60 years of your life. But if you shy away from it, if you let that fear get the better of you, that becomes a handicap that will also stick with you for 50 or 60 years. It's a fundamental skill, and putting in the effort to get comfortable with it is one of the best investments you could ever make. Now, once you're comfortable speaking out loud, the next challenge is turning that voice inwards. I'm talking about being brutally, properly honest with yourself. This is where so many brilliant ventures and ideas fall apart. People lie to themselves, don't they? They tell themselves a story. My idea is faster, it's cheaper, it's better than all the rest. But is it really? Because you have to remember, you're not operating in a vacuum. The people you're up against aren't just sitting on their hands, ignoring you. The second you do something great, They're going to look at it, learn from it, and copy it. And just like that, you've got to be one step ahead, all over again. You have to be your own toughest critic. You've got to know your business, your project, your life, better than anyone else. Knowa Yuri, brilliantat. And more importantly, know what you don't know. That raw honesty is your secret weapon. And you know what grows from that kind of honesty? Real, unshakable confidence. Not arrogance, but that quiet, solid. So it's funny, isn't it? We often think legendary success comes from natural talent, or having the perfect product, or a privileged background, or a sky-high IQ. But I'd argue it's none of those things. I want you to really have a think about this idea of confidence. Just mull it over. Remember those times in your own life when you felt that fire in your belly, that inner bravery. With that feeling, you have the power to do whatever it takes to make your vision a reality in T's world. It's not always about having the perfect strategy. It's about that inner conviction. When you're full of confidence, what other people see as a massive problem, you just see as a puzzle to be solved. They see a brick wall. You see a stepping stone. So you have to understand that confidence is a muscle. It's a practice. The more you focus on it, the more you train it, the stronger it will get. And believe me when I say this, when you get to a place where a steady stream of confidence is flowing through your mind and your heart, you start doing heroic things in your work and achieving truly remarkable things in your life. This leads beautifully onto the next skill, because truly confident people have nothing to prove. They don't need to be the loudest person in the room. They need to be the best listener. There's a story about a great world leader, a man universally respected across the globe. He was the son of a tribal chief, and someone once asked him how he learned to be such a great leader. He said he remembered two things from watching his father in tribal meetings. First, they always sat in a circle, and second, his father was always, without fail, the last to speak. Think about that. Your whole life, people tell you to learn how to listen, but maybe the real skill is learning to be the last to speak. You see it in boardrooms every single day. Someone who thinks they're a good leader will walk in and say, "Right, here's the problem, and here's what I think we should do, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts." It's too late. The moment you've stated your opinion, you've shaped everyone else's. The real skill is holding your own opinions back until every single person has had their say. This does two incredible things. First, it makes everyone in the room feel that they've genuinely been heard and that their contribution mattered. And second, you get the massive benefit of hearing every single perspective. Before you offer your own, the trick is to just sit there and take it all in. Don't nod if you agree. Don't shake your head if you disagree. Your only job is to ask questions to better understand why they think what they think. Where are they coming from? And then, at the very end, it's your turn. It sounds easy, but it's incredibly difficult. Practice Italiano. It's a mark of true leadership. And this idea of carefully managing what you say ties into carefully managing what you do. I'm talking about your time. Our generation has a massive problem. We have traded being effective for being busy. We are busier than any generation in the last few hundred years. We're all running around like headless chickens, and because our diaries are full, we think we're being effective. But are you? Or is your life just cluttered with stuff that drains you, taxes you, and stops you from being the best version of yourself? Some clever people did the research on this, and they found that for the average person, a staggering 80% of what we do is just busy work that doesn't really move the needle. Only 20% of our time is spent on the things we are truly gifted at, passionate about, and brilliant at doing. The rest is just the dull, dreary admin of life. Now, just imagine for a second what would happen if you could flip those numbers. What if you could spend 80% of your time doing what you were put on this earth to do, and only 20% on the stuff you have to do? Think what that would do for your life. You could take my suit, my car, my house, and I could get new ones. But when you take my time, you have taken something from me that is utterly irreplaceable. We manage our money, we look after our homes, we work on ourselves, but we often forget to value our time. You were meant to be creative, but creativity needs space, It needs time. And it's impossible to find that when your life is full of clutter and the constant ringing and beeping of your phone with someone else. Always wanting a piece of you, pulling you away from what you are truly meant to do. Of course, when we're trapped in that cycle of busyness, it's easy to fall into another trap. Whining, complaining about everything that's going wrong. Why me? Why don't they? Primera, te. I'm too tired. So here's a challenge for you. Try having a day, just one day a week, with a strict no whining policy. No complaining, no criticizing. If you catch yourself doing it, you have to put a quid in a jar. You would be absolutely astonished at how quickly that jar fills up. So many of us are completely unaware of how much we complain. We need to stop moaning about what isn't happening, what we don't have, or what someone else didn't do for us. Instead, we need to focus on being consistent. Success isn't a destination you arrive at one day. People think someone is successful because they had one massive hit, one great year. But success is a journey. You have to be consistently working, consistently growing, consistently successful. Otherwise, you just get remembered for your last failure. When things go wrong, you can't afford to waste time mourning it. You just have to get up, dust yourself off, and figure out what you can do next. There is always a solution. The reason people have a successful year is because they put in 10 years of consistent, hard graft before that. Power and success aren't things you are just given. They are things you have to consistently earn, day in and day out. But that consistency, that relentless drive, it takes fuel. And the best fuel in the world is completely free. Sleep. This is a non-negotiable, yet it's the first thing we sacrifice. You have to prioritize it. And that means saying no to things you really want to do. It's not easy. You might have to turn down a fun dinner with friends because you know that if you don't get your 7 or 8 hours, you won't be on top form the next day. It's about choosing to be 100% present and energized for what truly matters, rather than being tired all the time. Honestly, is there anything worse than being tired? When you're well-rested, confident, and present, you can then truly master the final skill on this list, and perhaps the most important of them all. Empathy. Empathy is the invisible current that connects us to other people. It's what allows us to feel what another person is feeling, even a fictional character in a film. That current runs from the screen into our nervous system, and suddenly we're all in a dark room feeling the same imagined joy or sorrow. It connects us to the person sitting next to us and the person next to them. It's a mysterious and incredibly valuable part of being human, and for some reason, we've been taught to see it as an inconvenient, embarrassing response. This sniffling, choking, wet-faced mess. Professionals of all kinds, doctors, politicians, stock traders are taught to suppress it to work more efficiently. You might wonder what possible value this weakness could have in a world built on survival of the fittest. But here's the truth of it. Empathy isn't a weakness at all. Empathy is the very engine that powers all the best in us. It is what civilizes us. It is what connects us. Your time is coming. Keep believing. Keep fighting. Don't just watch. Go out and prove them wrong. Thank you for being part of the journey. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.